Yep. Like you want to do.
Oh, I don't know. Facebook page, Tier 1 Lead Guide Service.
This is a good one, Jeff.
I think that's the one I had fired up for him. And
Deer poachers in August through
August.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Once they started in velvet, they were after them, and then they'd start shooting deer in August and go till January or so, and then turkeys, as soon as the first gobble started taking place in say February, they were after them.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. Seasons were not a thing for some of those guys down there. So yeah, I learned real quick how to be a game warden down there.
You're kind of on your own too, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a 2-agent district, and then it became a 1-agent district there for a little while when I was down there. And you're a long ways from backup more often than not, especially when you're in the middle of the national forest, a long ways from any town at all.
Did you have a lot of backup from like the patrol or?
I had good officers that I worked with, yeah. If I needed something, they would come, but by the same token, they may be 45 minutes to an hour away.
Right.
They're out working the highway somewhere, and I'm in the middle of the national forest. So, but we had a good working relationship with the deputies and the Donovan City Police,
Sure.
and that was.
I would think you'd have to.
Yeah, that was always very nice.
I'm kind of surprised because being around firearms all the time, you would think they're
Right.
crazy,
Right. A lot of it, our guys, we really focus on the hiring practices and the training on verbal judo and de-escalation.
Yep.
Because you don't have backup. You're not going to have 10 cars show up behind you when things go bad.
Correct.
So you do everything you can to do your job, but to keep things from breaking bad.
Sure.
Now, you can't always do that, as you well know, but you really focus on trying to de-escalate the situation, knowing that most everybody you contact is armed.
Sure.
Even in the summertime, fishermen got knives.
Right.
And in the wintertime, when they're hunting, in the fall, they've all got guns.
Yeah,
so
right.
you know that going in. So we really focus on community policing, de-escalation, and verbal judo. And you guys are dealing with different issues. I mean, we're not bouncing from domestic to domestic. You guys had to do. We'll have some of that on our conservation areas, or we may back up a city PD or a sheriff's deputy, but that's not the norm for us. That's the exception.
It's super stressful when you're working with those guys because they're the best in the world at what they do, and
Yeah.
you got to be on point. So I declined the contract, to be honest with you. I said I'm going to start my guide business and keep running with it, and that was it. I pulled the strings on the contracting work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you much happier though doing the guide and stuff
Oh.
instead? I mean, so much more enjoyable, right?
Like I love being a cop. I
Right.
love working with the special forces guys.
Yep.
Loved it. I'm glad I did it. It was great. I got to do some cool shit, but ultimately this is where I wanted to be the whole time.
Yeah. And you do that so that you can get to this point and do the things you enjoy and afford to do the things like this. Yes. That's the beauty of practicing. You can cross it off the list and focus on productive water.
Yep, like that big KY we caught. Well, I say big, but average KY. He was right in off that first pocket right there.
Yeah.
But all the other bass we've been catching have been, in those pockets.
They've been in the pockets.
Right, but around brush.
Yeah. There's some leftover pizza from Dave's if you want some.
I
Help
may take you
yourself.
up on. You mind?
Not at all.
Thanks. I'll eat that.
They got a deal, $10 Tuesdays at Dave's Pizza and Wings there in Lynn. It's a giant 14-inch one-topping pizza for $10.
You're gonna booze out.
No.
I think we're around them. I just don't think they're coming up to eat right now.
Well, what if I should pull my jig out then? If you want to sling the jerk bait, I can give the jig a try and see if something different's not called for. Okay, yeah, so my camera jacked up at the terribly wrong time, but here's a nice 15-incher line burner, but I'll take him on the jig. Good fish.
Yep. See, there's a bunch of them down there, though.
Yep.
He's knocking pretty good.
No, it was
Mush?
just a little bit of mush and didn't feel right, so I set the hook just to be safe, and sure enough. Jewel spider jig. Boy, I like these. They come through the brush or the rock so much better than most.
Yeah, they're still down there.
No, that bite, that
all about the same size.
Yeah,
probably all keep
all line burners. But that bite was just mush, no thump, no mush, and a little bit of pressure. And like, I think that's a fish. But these little washes like this are just textbook spots for them to beat in, just like they are. I was one of the 2 Camden County agents when I was here from 2000 to 2004. And so Jack Kramer was what we called the lake agent, where Jack worked the lake most of the time, and I kind of covered the Camden County, the land part of it. And so I worked here for 4 years, and then we started the Camden and Castaways Bass Club. Okay. John Blankenbecker.
Yeah, I know John well. He just texted me.
Yep. So we started that bass club together back in 2000 when I moved up here, and had a great time doing that, fishing with those guys. But I didn't fish this part of the lake very much at all together. But we had several Camden city cops, Camden County Sheriff's Department, had a trooper, Keith Howery, from Highway Patrol, and so we started the bass club together. And
out of that. Did you see my line not go sideways?
No, but I saw the hook.
Scared the shit out of me because I wasn't sitting there not concentrating. Also, I just saw yanked the rod out of my hand.
It's another little wash right here.
Yeah, there they are right there. I went out of that group there. I don't know how he must have just swiped at it. There was another water patrol guy that was in a bass club, and I used to hear his name all the time, but
Beecham, Jeff Beecham. Gosh darn it, yeah, Jeff Beecham.
I think my cousin knows him too.
Yeah, Camden PD. Yep.
That's a good one.
That's a good keeper.
That's a good fish.
Yep.
Good job, Randy. Solid.
I'm feeling better about my jig.
I just set him up for you. That was probably one that hit my line.
You got him fired up, and I caught him. Come here, you.
I'm up here to get him on camera here too. Solid 3.5.
You betcha.
Good job, dude.
Get him on camera there. Yeah.
So Randy got our 4th keeper. It's a solid 3.5. Another jig on the same bank we just he caught his other jig fish on. There's a group of them down there. They're kind of schooled up in here. I think that's the one I had fired up for him. And
you gonna take credit for him, are you, Jeff? I hear you.
I'm being a good guy.
He's a good guy. That's right. You know, here I'll do everything I can to get him on your hook, guys. This guy do anything he can to help his clients catch fish, right?
So that's our 4th one. So I think I'm feeling pretty good that we're kind of around some of the right fish, I guess. So, and it's just now 12:30. Finally above freezing.
Hey man, I'm gonna put her back.
Yep. Good job. Get out of here.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I missed a good jig bite like that.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you. Speaking of that, how do you? I mean, with being the guide business, I mean, you're working with the fishing industry on a regular basis, but when you're working on sponsors like that,
yeah,
is it just contacts from clients you take out, or how do you build those relationships?
That's an awesome question because like this lumberjack association, right? So they're going to be so they haven't determined. He said anywhere between 1,500 and 2,500, but that's going to be their thing. But I met them guys who were doing the lumberjack tournament last year, and then there's another company that sponsors Michael Harlan. It's something lumber. I forget what Scruggs Lumber.
Mm-hmm.
And my guys who own Trico Lumber saw that too, and they're like, well, yeah, you know, they sponsor Michael. Would you be? And so I'm going to have them. And then I have one more letter out to Ducksworks. You heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
And I got a letter out to them. But Vinyl Images does my wrap for my boat. I met them. I didn't know them from Adam about 20 years ago. And a buddy of mine said, hey, I got a buddy that's starting up a Vinyl Images wrap business. You got to go talk to him about your boat. So I did. I went out there, and there's 2 brothers and a sister. Sat down, met with them. So he just did my wrap for free. That was it. And then got to become friends with them. Now they went from, you know, probably a 6-figure business to well into the 7 figures now. They've moved buildings twice. Now they got like this 30,000 square foot building, and they're doing cars, race cars, boats, trucks, I mean, you name it, they're a big deal now.
Okay.
And now that's where I'm getting the money, the wrap and the money. So every year I get my boat wrap. They do it. They do a good job. This is like if you look at the wrap, so it's a heavy wrap, and then they put a clear coat wrap over it, which gives it that sheen look.
Okay.
You know. But yeah, so the question is, yeah, sometimes it's through contact, sometimes it's just through legwork.
Gotcha.
Jim Lovin, I met him through Randy Conlon, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy introduced me, and Jim called me out of the blue one day, just like he did today, you know, and he said, hey, it's Jim Lovin. We met down with Randy. I said, yeah, and he goes, we're looking to do some stuff in the Midwest with Halo, and asked if I'd be interested, and I said, sure. Well, that year, which was 2 years ago, whatever, last 2 years ago, Justin Hammer won the Bassmasters Classic.
Right.
And he's the main Halo guy. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? The guy just won the Classic.
Yeah.
You know? But Jim, you know, I go to all the stores down here and push Halo, and I say it. And so it's just a lot of that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. You know. Hey, dude, let's get another good one. You need a 5-pounder, we'll have a good day. You need a 5-pound spot.
They're in here. I'll tell you what, I am going to keep that jig in my hand.
Yeah, I would. That's good to know that they're biting.
Absolutely. I've been trying to find a good jig bite all winter. I just got to have somebody show me where the fish are.
Well, it helps when you're dragging. Like you were in that school. Like there was school.
Well, and that was the difference is we knew there was fish there.
Right.
I knew where to sit, let it sit and soak
and
it.
if it felt funny, you knew it was probably a fish.
Yes.
Yep. Because you were right in the middle of them.
Yeah. So otherwise, you're just kind of trying to drag and cover water. I probably blew it by other fish, but you know when to soak it and when to move on when you know where the fish are at.
There he comes. There he comes. Get it. He's right on it. Come on, dude. Get it. That's a good one. Oh, he broke me off. No!
Oh, no!
No! Look at him going back down with it. See him? That's a nice fish. Look how big he is. He's still trying to shake it. Right here.
Yeah.
That's how big he is.
That's a good fish.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That's a good fish.
God.
That's all right. That's right. You catch him on Saturday. You don't catch him today. Catch him on Saturday.
God, no.
That's so frustrating though. When they, oh no.
That's the only one I had in the junior. I'm going to have to stop and get some. God darn the luck. That's a big fish. See how big it is on the screen?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Oh no. Now, I got to ask the question. Yeah. Fluorocarbon line, when it's super bitter cold, does it get more brittle like that?
I don't think so, because I'll be honest with you, like I threw that the whole morning and I would check it, you know, never had a problem. And then I had that backlash and I just retied. So it was probably a bad knot on my part.
Okay.
I mean, you saw.
He still counts.
Yeah.
On the jerkbait.
On the big one too.
Okay. He wasn't scared of it.
No. Look at him, right up on it. Right there at 30.
Yep.
I'm right in the middle of them. Oh, it's a big crappie. Look at the size of that crappie.
There's a jerkbait crappie.
Look at the size of that crappie.
Nice. Now, that was a smaller school of crappie, but they were big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the herons going at it.
It's fighting.
This is my spot. You go somewhere else. That's a nice crappie.
Yeah, it is. That's slab there.
Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of those on the lake this year.
That's about a what? 13-incher?
Yep, every bit. And shoulders.
Yeah.
And big, lots of meat.
You want him?
No, we're good. You ever take this thing on the Osage below Bagnall?
I have not done that yet.
This year, probably you're not missing much, but there's some years where it can be really, really good down there.
Yeah, apparently right up to, you can run pretty far from Bagnall Dam to right where my house is. And then it gets, what is that, ice?
Ice coming off the roofs. Yeah, is it as good as this one here? This one is. This one is.
Gobbled up?
Yep. This is a good one, Jeff.
We both got good ones. Oh no, mine's hooked in the back of the head. Mine was hooked in the back.
Mine's a drum.
Oh no. The first drum of the day.
Oh, you silly sucker.
Another one out of a brush pile, but they're temperature. I'm gonna help you.
Oh no, I'll get this slimy sucker here. Come here, you. Didn't slime you up too bad.
Smoked it.
He can be close. He'd be close. Oh, he goes.
Sucker, isn't he? I think he's short, but
They're fat. They're healthy.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. They're healthy. I think that one will. I think
don't
that
think
one
he
will
will.
go. I think he will. Well,
see, now I don't think he will. We'll check him, but I'll say 14 3/4.
yeah, you're probably right. He's going to be close. One of those
Man,
kind that'll fool you, but he's got a really
belly
long
on
tail.
him.
Yep.
Stop. Yeah, he's short. Tons. Stop. Yeah, 14 and a half.
Yep. But there is a lot of that size here. That'll be good in about 2 or 3 years, I think. Do you spend your time like fishing any docks this time of year, like fishing back the docks or in the shade of the docks, or you just leave them alone?
Yep. Pretty much leave him alone. I
Leave
might
'em alone.
fish around the sides where the brush pile. Remember how there was a few on the side of the docks?
Right.
I'll probably hit the brush pile.
But that you're fishing more the brush than the dock, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're not skipping docks or anything this time of year?
Nope.
Okay.
My jig sits there just like to do something like what you're doing, just to throw down a bluff
Okay.
bank or something.
But you wouldn't spend your time fishing the shade of docks or nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good to know.
Yep.
Is it just, I wonder why, summertime, times of the year, springtime,
Yeah.
they'll tuck under them, but the wintertime, not so much?
You have to come out with me in the summer when all I do is skip underneath those shaded, things. That's all I do all summer.
Okay.
But they're looking for shade, during the summer. Where
Right.
Wintertime, they just, I'm sure there's some fish up underneath there. But I always tell people this, like, what are the probable chances of you catching that one fish? You'd have to hit all these docks, right?
Exactly. That's what's so frustrating about this lake to me is like they all look the same.
Right. And so I always look at the probability of certain docks and things, and I say, well, there might be some there, and you might be able to catch one here or there, but I know I can go out and catch more doing this, so why even...
Hitting the open stretches and leaving these alone.
Yeah, because most of them, they want to be in the sun a little and warm up in the winter, because they're, bass are...
Cold-blooded, right.
They like that warm... So I don't think they really want to be in the shade too much. That's my opinion. I can be honest with you, I never caught any tournaments or anything flipping docks this time of year. It's all doing this.
I don't hear anybody talking about it. I hear talk about fishing brush piles and
just what we're doing is
channel swings. Yeah.
That's it.
And the fish we saw even this morning, they weren't in the docks. Right. They were in between them in the pocket.
Right. And it's just one of them things over the years you figure out. But
well, Mark was saying the same thing too. He's like, they relate more to the rocks and the brush and the bottom this time of year than they do the docks and stuff overhead.
That's right.
So that's exactly what you're saying.
when they drop the lake, then they'll 100% they'll get into those big boulder rocks, and you just throw your jerkbait or A-rig or crank wiggle wart by then.
Okay.
Because they like to sit on them dark colored rocks as they hold heat. I really don't start flipping docks until late March, depending on the weather.
Right.
But when them big females will start to come up and snoop around, a little bit for spawning pockets. Then I'll flip behind some of them deeper docks.
You flip behind the docks.
Yep. They'll work if you start sitting about 48, 49. You'll start getting a few of the ones starting to move up there behind them docks and look around. Or a lake that I haven't even been on. Even if I haven't been, like, Tommy or something that I haven't been on in a while. I still go when I pull out my maps. I keep journals. I journal every day, and then I'll look at the maps, and then I go and I get Google Satellite, and I'll Google that, and then I look at past tournament results. And so that way it gives me an idea.
Yes, you know where to start. Right. I do the same thing. I mean, that's part of why I like watching Fish 30. He fishes the local lakes. He catches them a lot more often than he doesn't.
Yep.
And he'll come up with some new ideas, or I know he loves the jerkbait and the jig, but you get a clue what the fish are doing by just watching him.
Right. Yeah, and that's once you get a few clues, that helps you. But there's days where you can't get a clue for the life of you.
I know those days.
You don't know what to do.
Yeah, I know those days. Thinking, have we seen another boat on the lake today?
Nope.
I don't think I've seen one.
No, none.
Not a one.
We're the only nutbags out here.
Hey, but we're catching fish.
We're catching fish. Keeper.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he crushed that.
Like you want to do.
Oh, I don't know.
That would call. That one should go. That may call one of them little spots if we was in a derby.
Can you hand me those pliers? Man, let me tell you, he knocked the tar out of that.
That's what you like to see.
Already in it.
Hey, so we are wrapping up a great day on Lake of the Ozarks with Jeff Hoots. He's a licensed guide here, and by God, he's worth learning from. So we caught a lot of fish today, learned a bunch. Cannot wait to put the footage together. I filled up my SD card full of knowledge to share. So it was a great day. And so, Jeff, how long have you been guiding here on the lake, and how can people get a hold of you?
So this will be my third year, but I've been fishing the lake for 35 years. So, but you can call me at 314-226-3701, or you can go to my Facebook page, Tier 1 Elite Guide Service, or on the web, www.tier1eliteguideservice.com.
Excellent, and I would highly recommend it because this guy knows what he's talking about. So he's whipped me many times in tournaments, and I do my best to keep up. We had a great day. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching. I'll get this put together, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Randy.